game is played between Justin Lee, CLO rating is 2282 versus Aditya Samant, whose CLO rating is 2535. The opening is Queen's Indian defense. Justin Lee is playing white and Aditya is playing black. The opening is Queen's Indian defense. Justin Lee played d4. d4 is the strong first move. Grandmasters begin with this except Bobby Fischer. Knight f6. Knight f6 is a book move, protecting crucial e4 square with the knight, and it's a development move. Knight c3. Knight c3 is also a book move. It's a developing move and it controls d5 and e4 squares. d5. d5 is a book move. d5 takes a space in the center and controls e4 and c4 squares and allows a light quiet bishop to develop. Bishop f4. Bishop f4 is an excellent developing move and it increases influence in the center. c5. c5 is a very good move. With this push, black grabs the central ground and opens lines for future development. e4 is an excellent move. This strikes at the center to fight for the space. Knight into e4. Knight into e4 is a very good move. Instead of that, d into e4 is better as shown. Knight into e4. Now d into e4. After all captures, this is an equal trade. d into c5. d into c5 is also a good move. Since the queen has the support of the rook, white can play this. Queen into d1. Okay, rook into d1. This is favorable to white because it combines with the capturing and developing move. Now the rook is in the open file. d1. d5. Knight c6. Knight c6 is a very good move. Very good developing move and it increases the influence in the center, but e6 is still better. Bishop e3. Bishop e3 is a good move, supports the c pawn. e5. e5 is a good developing move, also better is g6 as shown. Bishop c4. Bishop c4 is a best developing move for bishop and it attacks the center and also attacks the vulnerable f7 pawn. f5. f5 is a very aggressive move. Returns to win a pawn by kicking a key defender. g3. g3 is a great move. White anticipates f4 so that now he can exchange the pawns. This move stops the opponent from being able to win a pawn by kicking the key defender of the pawn. Knight d4. Knight d4 is a solid choice. Bishop into d4. e into d4. Black gets rid of the doubled pawn, which is considered as a weakness in the endgame. Knight e2. Knight e2 is a good developing move and it attacks the center. Now bishop into c5. Bishop into c5 is an excellent move. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Knight into d4. Bishop into d4, rook into d4. Black doesn't like to lose his strong bishop, therefore he played king e7. White castles, rook d7. Bishop d7. Instead of that, rook d8 is better. Bishop b5. This misses an opportunity to win the bishop through a handshell fork. Let us go back and see the fork. So let us go back. The last move played is bishop b5. It is what he missed the fork, and by that white can win a pawn. Bishop into b5. Knight into b5. Rook h d8. Rook h d8 is a good move. This prevents white from playing rook d5 to win a pawn. Knight c7. Good move attacking the rook. Rook into d1. Rook into d1. It's a clear recapture. c8. Rook moved to safety and kicks away the knight. Knight d5 check. King e6. Knight f4 check. King e7. This reverses the check from the knight and as well as prevents white rook controlling the 7th row. Knight d5 check again. King f7. h4, bishop d6, knight e3. This defends the pawn that was under attack and has no defenders. King e6. King e6 defends the bishop. e3. e3 is a good move and it's a fine move, creating a small pawn chain. g6. g6 is a excellent move, creates a long pawn chain. This stops white from being able to win a pawn by overloading a defender. King f1. King f1 indicates the start of the endgame. b5. b5 one of the best moves and rook c6 also playable. King e2. King e2 is a good move that the king will be very helpful in the endgame. Knight c2 is also playable as indicated. a5. a5 is a very good move and it is the strongest option. h5. h5 is a fair move, breaking the black's pawn chain. Bishop c5. Bishop c5 is also a good move. It attacks the knight and try to break the white's pawn chain. H into g6. H into g6 is a straightforward recapture. a3. a3 is a dubious move. Better is rook h1. Rook h8. Black took advantage of the missed opportunity by white. Rook d2. Rook d2 is right on target. a4 creates a pawn chain. Linked pawns are always very strong. Knight d5. Knight d5 is a dubious move. Rook d1 is better instead of that. Rook h2. Rook h2 is the best move. It is very precise. Knight c7 check. King f6. King e1. Rook h1 check. Rook h1 check is a waste move. Instead of that, g5 is the correct move here. King e2. King goes back to its original position. g5. Now black plays g5. That is good use of time, taking and finding the only good move in the position. He should have played it last move itself. Knight d5 check. King g6. King g6 is a very good move. It protects the d pawn and moving away from the attacking knight. Rook e2. Rook e2 is a waste move. c4 is better. After b into c4, the rook can easily get the pawn back and by that break the black's pawn chain also. Rook h1 check. King d2. Rook b1. King c2. Rook f1. g4. g4 is a very strong reply, breaking white's pawn chain. Black plays h into g. g4 is a strong play. F into g4. Rook into e4. Rook into f2 check. King d3. g3. g3 the correct move to safety. Rook g4. g2. g2 is an excellent move, protecting the pawn. Knight c7. Knight c7 is a good move, attacking the pawn. This is the solid choice. Rook h5. King h5. Rook g3. King h4. Knight e6. This is a strong play. Knight attacks both the bishop and the pawn. King into g3. Knight into c5. Rook f3 check. King e2. g1 is equal to queen. Bishop e4 check. King f4. Knight d2. Rook e3 and it mates. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Please subscribe so that you can see many more beautiful games of these champions. Thanks for watching once again.